The story begins by the lake, where our protagonist discovers the surroundings to be unfamiliar. Suddenly, a memory strikes him. He was riding his scooter when a loose vending machine in front of him collided with him. Surprisingly, he survives the accident but finds himself unable to move. Unexpectedly, he hears his own voice welcoming customers to use him, and it dawns on him that he has been reincarnated as a vending machine. Interestingly, we learn that he was actually a vending machine enthusiast, so he surprisingly embraces his new form with happiness. He appreciates the vending machine's affordable products and sleek design. However, he soon realizes that his new existence may pose challenges. He ponders whether it was a divine intervention that transformed him into the object he loved and decides to accept his new reality. He manages to utter the standard phrases expected from a vending machine, such as "insert coin" and "thanks for buying." Curious about his capabilities and understanding his new body, he notices some writing, which turns out to be the labels of the items he is selling. Currently, he offers only 2 products: mineral water and corn soup. He perceives a voice instructing him that he can modify the items by utilizing points, and upon checking, he discovers he possesses 1,000 points. He becomes aware that points are obtained by converting money, which can be utilized to replenish or exchange the available goods, or even acquire additional functionalities. Upon further investigation, he comprehends that these points enable him to maintain various items at different temperatures, as well as warm up frozen food or add hot water to ramen. He explores his inventory and realizes he possesses a variety of items that he used to purchase from vending machines when he was alive. He decides to experiment by changing one of his items to milk tea, which costs him 10 points, resulting in the appearance of milk teas within him. He deduces that he can earn 1 point for every 100 yen he obtains. As he learns more about himself, he realizes that he doesn't require electricity for power, but instead, he consumes his points for energy. He expends 1 point per hour, equating to 24 points per day. Consequently, he calculates that he needs to earn at least 2,400 yen each day to sustain himself. Considering he still possesses 990 points, he can operate for approximately a month, but he acknowledges the importance of not squandering his points until he secures a more stable income. However, he begins to panic after a day, since he finds himself in an isolated location with no one to utilize his services, fearing that he is obsolete. At that moment, a large frog appears and approaches him. However, it becomes startled when he warmly welcomes it. The frog retaliates by attacking him with a club, causing his durability to decrease. He realizes that if his durability reaches 0, he will break and become unusable. As the frog continues its assault, he observes his durability rapidly diminishing. Surprisingly, he discovers the existence of a magic stat, indicating the presence of magic in this world. Using his points, he can repair his durability, so he considers waiting for the frog to lose interest. Suddenly, the frog summons its friends, causing him to panic. He desperately searches for a solution to save himself, but finds nothing useful. The frogs continue to beat him, but he suddenly realizes he can receive a blessing from God. He is given the option to choose from various abilities and decides to acquire the barrier ability. With this newfound power, he successfully pushes the frogs away, feeling invincible. However, his points begin to decrease rapidly as the frogs persistently attack him. Eventually, the frogs become bored, and he manages to survive. He utilizes his points to restore his durability, and we observe that he now has 311 points left after a few days. A few days later, despite his efforts, he has been unable to make any sales. However, unexpectedly, a girl appears. Initially cautious, she mentions her hunger and confesses that she is not suited to be a hunter. It appears she was hunting frogs, but without success. She notices a vending machine, but is unfamiliar with its purpose. Startled, she hears his voice welcoming her and instructing her to insert a coin. The girl wonders what type of coins are accepted and attempts a copper coin, which is not recognized. She realizes that she needs the coin conversion function for it to be accepted. He promptly acquires the skill for 100 points, resulting in a change in his prices. This allows the girl to understand that she will need to pay 1 silver coin. Despite thinking it's expensive, she still decides to try it due to her hunger. He becomes excited about making his first sale, and the girl selects his soup item. Taking it from him, she is surprised to find it still hot. After tasting the soup and finding it delicious, she declares it better than anything else available. He feels overwhelmed with pleasure for bringing her such joy. The girl becomes curious about his other items and enjoys his milk tier as well. Consequently, she ends up buying a few more corn soups, resulting in him earning about 6 silver coins, equivalent to 60 points. Eventually, she falls asleep next to him and he protects her with his barrier, considering her a precious customer. Upon waking up, she expresses gratitude for the food and is startled when she hears his voice. Wondering if he can talk, she recalls someone she knows who invents tools with magical powers, leading her to question if he can only speak specific lines. However, she realizes that he can understand her, and they devise a way to communicate where he responds with hello for yes and thank you for no, not introducing herself as long as she begins to inquire more about him. He is unable to disclose his name, so she opts to call him Boxo. She ponders whether he feels lonely and suggests relocating him. He agrees, and the girl surprisingly lifts him up. He is astonished by her strength, but relieved to finally move. It turns out that Lamas possessed the blessing of mice, which explains their incredible strength. After a while, she takes a break and desires some more corn soup, but he believes it's not very filling. He decides to find something else for her. Lamas is taken aback when she realizes he can change his items, and she decides to give it a try. She discovers a can of potato chips, which she finds absolutely delicious. She indulges in multiple cans, and he manages to regain 320 points. They return to the village where the guards question what she has brought back. She explains it as a magical tool that can provide items in exchange for money, claiming she found it near the lake. She wonders if it's acceptable to keep it, and the guards mention that it's customary for whoever finds something in a dungeon to become its rightful owner. Boxer wonders if they are in a dungeon, but dismisses the possibility since he can see the sky. The guards express surprise at his ability to speak, leading them to believe he could be sold for a high price. However, Lamas informs them that she is taking him to meet her friend. The guards attempt to purchase items from him and are immediately impressed. They request Lamas to bring him around occasionally, and Boxo feels optimistic about their business prospects. Upon entering the village, Lana notices a girl being bullied. She defeats one of the thugs, but we see that despite her strength, she struggles to land a hit on another man. The men decide to flee and Lamas checks on the girl. Lamas goes to the inn, where her friend Manami eagerly rushes to her, relieved that she returned without any weapons. It appears that Lamas was left behind by other hunters, but Manami tells her that she has helped spread negative rumors about them. Manami then shifts her attention to Boxo, initially thinking Lamas has brought back more useless items. However, Lamas insists that Boxo is incredibly useful and sets him up outside. Wanami realizes that Lamas wants to go to the surface to show Boxo to her friend, but Manami wonders how she will afford the transfer circle required to leave. Despite being able to see the sky, they find themselves in a dungeon called Clear Flow Lake. Lamas has apparently spent all her money on Boxo's items. Manami instructs Lamas to work at her inn to earn money. She also hopes that Boxo, the vending machine, will attract customers. People are quickly drawn to the high-quality items sold by Boxo, resulting in significant sales during the night. Lamas takes Boxo to the gate guards, but they eventually lose interest in the items. Boxo decides to introduce new items to maintain their appeal. It appears that Boxo has successfully sold over 400 items and accumulated over 3,000 points. Suddenly, Boxo emits a glow, surprising the guard with a new item. The guard is excited to try it, which costs 3 silver coins. Fortunately, instructions on the can guide them on how to consume the stew, impressing the guards with its delicious flavors. They express a desire to purchase more. The news about the new item spreads throughout the village, becoming popular. However, during the day, Boxo makes it unavailable to avoid competing with the inn's restaurant. The girl whom Lamas saved approaches Boxo, but gets startled by its voice, leading her to throw a rock and run away. And Lamas continues to accompany Boxo to the guards at night, engaging in conversation and hoping for a genuine interaction someday. They need to reach her friend on the surface. Lawless, happy to have found Boxo, believes that being reincarnated as a vending machine isn't so bad. However, this is where the video ends. If you would like to see more of this series, please let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.